No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door right here, this door is open to is open for you. This door is open to you. This door is open. I'm talking about this door. This door is open. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Yes, it is. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Reverend Christy Corna. I am the Associate Minister here at Unity of the Blue Ridge. We have another fabulous day ahead of us. Just want to welcome everyone here in person and everyone on the live stream. If you can turn around and wave, hello. Thank you for joining us. And I'm just going to go ahead and open us with a prayer. So you may close your eyes if you wish. So I know that there is one life. It is the life of the divine, evident in all things seen, all things unseen. That same energy that spins the planets in their place is the same energy that animates our being. We are that life, and all that God is, we are. And so we gather here today to understand that, to embody that at a deeper level, that we are the divine, uniquely expressing, each of us bearing our own gifts, bringing forth an expansion of love, of joyfulness, of beauty, of empowerment and encouragement and hope. And all is well. There is a health and a harmony and a balance that is at the center of all life. This is our life now. So we give thanks. We welcome the essence of Spirit to reveal itself fully in and through and as each of us. And we shine our lights and we spread that love. And so it is. Amen. And now I'd like to invite our children to go back and participate in our youth program. And by the way, thank you, Fred Racy, for our first mentoring moments last week with the kids. Yay! So just so you know, there's an opportunity if you have a special gift or talent that you would like to share with the kids. It takes about 10 minutes. and see Reverend Gabby, and she can get you on the schedule. We have the first Sunday in August, we have Rev Deborah, who will be talking about the chakras. Fred Racy spoke about being a pilot and taught a lot around that. It was very exciting. So if that interests you, please see Reverend Gabby. And we're going to extend a blessing. Thank you, Rev Gabby. Thank you, Rev Barbara Ann. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the divinity in you. Have fun. All right, Kat. Kat and our band. There.
So while my soul is welcome here and your soul is welcome here, why don't you turn around and greet your neighbor with a namaste hug or a namaste greeting. 'Cause I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Well, I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and my soul is welcome here.
Thank you. So I just want to share a couple of quick announcements. Registration is open for our homecoming retreat, October 7th through the 9th. We would appreciate it if you would pre-register for all the workshops and events happening there. We do have a concert with our fabulous musicians and more on that Friday evening. There is a $20 fee for that, and you can register for that online. And if you can't do that for any reason, please give me a call or see me, and I'll get you hooked up for that concert, because it's going to be fabulous. The whole weekend is going to be fabulous. So, also we have our Legacy Giving program going on right now, and there's information out in the lobby for that. And it's just an opportunity to further your giving and your own living legacy in support of Unity of the Blue Ridge. So if you have any questions about that, you can also see me, and somebody may be out there at the table, yes, maybe, but there's plenty of information out there. So check it out. It's a wonderful opportunity, again, to support this amazing spiritual community. Now I would like to introduce Terry Crosby. She's a former board member. She's an exquisite poet and author, and one of our members, and she's going to share an inspirational reading.
Thank you so much. In life, there are so many kinds of moments. There are quiet, contemplative moments. There are action-packed moments. You might even say there are moments in between moments. And one time when I was in one of those in-between moments, an old situation had fallen away, but nothing new had yet arrived, and I was frankly waiting. In that moment, a friend of mine asked me how I was doing, and I blurted a few reasons why I was a little bit sideways. And he said this brilliant, simple thing. He said, well, maybe you ought to just breathe about it. So this morning, I would like to share an excerpt from my recent book called How to Save Your Fourth Marriage. And by the way, it's for anyone who's ever been in a relationship. You don't have to be on number 4, because it's about love. It's truly about that. I didn't get it until number 4. So this excerpt talks a little bit more about the idea of just breathe about it. In glorious September-October weather, I often did yoga on the cobblestone sidewalk outside my home. When a single leaf fell from the top of a 60-foot tree to my shoulders while I was doing triangle pose or downward-facing dog, that felt intensely intimate. Some leaves floated, others plummeted. Falling leaves relaxed me and gave me that breathe about it feeling. Breathe about it drops us out of worry and distress because it's impossible to think a troubled thought while breathing with awareness. When we're attentive to breath, our senses open and our perspective expands to the beauty of the world around us. We had no part in the growth of the tall trees outside our door, yet there they are. And what a miracle. To watch a blue swallowtail butterfly float by our office window wasn't on our to-do list, but it showed up, wings and all. Our talents may not include vehicle design, and still it is our daily pleasure to drive a car. The earth rotates, the sun rises over the horizon, and the moon appears without reminders or prompts. When we breathe about it, we tune into the miracles that surround us. We are here because we are being breathed. We are being inspired. If Source is breathing us, then Source's wisdom comes in on our breath as well. In the stillness of the breath, attention is removed from surface appearances and personality, and we take in the peace that holds us. To breathe about it invites good things to float to us like leaves falling down. Conscious breathing stills us enough to remember all the ways that life is for us.
Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment, here to this new beginning, here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. And here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. And here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, oh, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, get ready, my soul. Get ready, get ready, my soul.
Very nice.
Whew, get ready. Our fabulous band. Cat Williams, we got David Washington with Dave De La Rosa, Joel Pressman, Joey Dukes, and Pete Latrella on drums. We are so blessed. So, again, get ready, because now I would like to introduce today's speaker. This is Jessica Ayala, and she had the blessing to grow up in unity. So she is like the embodiment of these principles and does amazing work in the world. And she's here to share a message. So please welcome Jessica.
Get ready. I'm really excited to be here. So, one of the most transformational moments of my life happened in the spring of 2019. I consider that to be like my dark night of the soul. I was really going through a lot. I was kind of caught up in this cycle of movement, constant movement, frantic, disorganized, chaotic. And even though my steps were disordered with no clear direction, I was consumed by this impulse to just keep going. It was constant. And this one morning, I'll never forget it. I was trying to get my kids off to school and myself to work meetings, and I was in this state of not enoughness, not enough resources, not enough time, not enough help from the outside world. And so I was rushing small hands and tiny feet to do more, to be better, to keep up. And this one morning, I went to reach for the front door, and I stopped because I realized I forgot something. So I turned around, and a cosmic 2x4 smacked me into atonement when I saw the worry and the fear and the anxiety that I was carrying reflected back to me through the eyes and the face of my son. And I thought, what am I doing? I realized that it felt like I was breaking this connection between with all the good things that surrounded me. Because I was so consumed with this impulse to just get from point A to point B, that I was leaving my peace and my presence behind. And I was just kind of stuck in this impulse of survival. That impulse that tells us we just have to keep on going no matter what. And since then, I've realized that impulse, it exists in all of us. It's a generational energy. And it's tied to the subconscious ideas of lack and limitation, and to the idea that we are responsible for everything on our own. It's up to us. And so that survival impulse just keeps us going, living for the next thing before the now thing has ever even happened. Can you relate to this? Good. So I can keep going. Well, that morning it reconnected me to this inner knowing that there's two paths in this world. There's this one path where we're tied to the reality of what we can see, what we can physically sense, what we see with our eyes, what we feel, what the world tells us is true. And on this path, being in constant motion is considered the thing to do. If you're not running yourself ragged, you're not doing enough. And if you're not consumed by fear, then you're living in la la land. But the truth of the matter is there's this other path where divine guidance and eternal wisdom is available at any time, at any place. The thing about that path, however, is that we can't see it. It's beyond reasoning. We will never know how something will work out, but it will every time. And the way we access this is in what I can only describe as a sacred space between our movements. This is where we align with a consciousness of stillness. You see, I think many people, including myself, we consider stillness sometimes as a thing that we do. It's a moment we carve out time for to sit quietly in silence, maybe in darkness. And there's where we experience inner peace. And this is true. We do experience inner peace in those moments. But what often happens is that peace is short-lived, because moments later we're returned to the hustle of the world. One of my favorite authors, Florence Scovel Shen, she calls this rocking chair faith. She says, in the rocking chair, yes, you experience peace, you experience a sense of well-being, you feel God. But then the time comes to leave the rocking chair, and then you're just returned to the arena of life. And what happens there is what matters most. And I think that this is because the essence of stillness is not just about the absence of movement. It's a consciousness of peace and presence, and a balance between waiting for guidance and knowing when it's ours to move. And the reason I say that is because during that difficult time in my life, I took this deep dive into the essence of inner stillness. I wanted to know all about it. And I discovered that the definition of stillness that we're all so familiar with, it comes from Old English. And it actually means to be motionless, to be stable, to be fixed, quiet, silent, and calm. But in Pi, or Proto-Indo-European, the single tongue that all modern European languages are derived from, this is where language began. Stillni is the suffixed form of the root still, and it means, it's actually established to order. It means to stand and to put in place. And rather than meaning quiet and silent, it means rest, have tranquility and peace. When I learned this, after I picked my jaw up off of the floor, I thought to myself, what if early references of stillness were not necessarily suggesting that we stop moving altogether, but that we realize a consciousness of peace and presence while we establish order, while we wait for what is ours to do to become clear. And then all of a sudden, early religious and spiritual texts started to look a bit differently for me. Be still and know. Stand in peace for order to be established, and then know what is yours to do. And Moses said to his people, let the Lord fight your battles. What did Moses say to his people? This gets me every time. The Lord will fight for you. You only need to stand in peace, or you only need to stand still. The Lord will fight for you. You need only to stand in peace and presence while the order of your steps is made clear by the Lord, by divine intuition, by inner guidance, the kingdom of heaven within, whatever that is for you, right? And this seems to make a little bit more sense to me, because are we not the hands and feet of that omnipotent power working in and through us? There's a story of Jesus and the two blind men that called out to him. And I really like this story. It's rich in significance. But to stay to the point, Jesus is entering into the city of Jericho. And there's a crowd surrounding him. And I find this funny because there's a crowd surrounding Jesus as he walks in, and yet the crowd is rebuking these two old blind men and saying, you know what, keep your peace. Essentially stay in your place. And they continue to call out to Jesus with urgency. They want help. They want his healing. And in all three Gospels, which notes the significance of it, it said that Jesus stood still. He didn't quicken his pace. He didn't jump into action. He didn't run to this seemingly urgent situation. He stood still. And I find it hard to believe that they were just announcing the physicality of Jesus. Like, there's Jesus, he was walking, now he's standing still. They were announcing his process of establishing peace and presence so that he would know what was his to do, which wasn't everything. He was not responsible for doing everything that was asked or expected of him, or responding to every urgent situation. He had to really stay centered to know what was his to do. And he was a great teacher of this. He was an omnipotent conduit of the omnipresent, because he understood that it wasn't his works, it was co-creation with a power greater than himself working in and through him. And the only way to have communication with that power is through peace. Peace is the bridge of the unseen. Now, of course, we like to think that it happened in like a split second. They needed healing. He healed them instantly. But the truth of the matter is, we don't know if it was days, if it was weeks, if it was months that he waited for peace and for the order of his steps to be revealed. then more than 1,000 years before the birth of Christ, this relationship between movement and stillness is seen in the philosophy of Taoism. Lao Tzu said, action in harmony with the Tao is called Wu Wei, literally non-action. And the understanding of Wu Wei is that rather than trying to control things that are out of our control, we approach life with acceptance. Rather than anxious doing or avoiding the situation altogether, we wait, we have peace, we trust that a solution is going to come to us, no matter what it looks like. And then we have willingness and readiness to act when action is required. There's another Chinese philosopher, Zhuzi, who furthered this understanding. He said, in connection with Taiji, or Tao, or the divine, when movement reaches its extreme, there is stillness. And when stillness reaches its extreme, there is movement. And so this alternation between movement and stillness, each serve the root of the other. And that is how what is ordained by heaven flows ceaselessly. In other words, when our movements are ordered with peace and presence, we experience heaven on earth, guidance, stillness, peace, presence, opportunity, prosperity, regardless of what is happening in the world around us. Even further back to the earliest spiritual and religious records, shamanism is a practice that calls upon the guidance of the unseen realm. Shamanic practitioners surrender to the order of nature, and they allow themselves to be guided into action by the invisible world. A while back, I was sitting by a campfire with a few friends, and I remember just leaning back and watching the night sky and seeing how the light interacted with the campfire. And I closed my eyes, and I remember seeing these, what looked like conduits of energy, just rising up in all different directions. And there were two that kind of came together and formed one. And when I saw that, I remember this inner knowing came to me, and it said, there's this space between our movements that where we have the capacity to change what can be from what was. And I was overcome. I was like, yes, I see that. I felt it. And so I remember telling my friend that was there, and she goes, yeah, but how? I was like, well, that's the question, how? I don't think that there's an easy answer to how. I think it looks differently for every single person and in every single experience. But I believe that the essence of this, the essence of establishing a consciousness of stillness, is the same. And it begins by realizing that impulse to keep going or to repeat the cycles that no longer serve us, fixing, people-pleasing, trying to control situations that are just completely out of our control. Realizing that it's driven by an illusion that we're on our own, that it's up to us to control everything and to do everything. Because we're part of something so much greater than that. And there is a purpose, a universal desire that exists within each of us. And the steps to move forward are always available to us, but we can only do one thing at a time. So we have to be willing to pull ourselves back into that space and just wait and listen, no matter how counterintuitive it feels and no matter how long it takes. For me, waiting in that space, sometimes it looks like letting urgent emails go, urgent voicemails go for at least 24 hours, just letting them be unattended. And it's quite empowering, really. And what I've discovered is most of the time, the people that sent those emails and those voicemails, they weren't waiting in the space between movements, and they didn't really need my help. They figure it out. Everything orders itself. Or by the time I get to those calls, I know exactly what is mine to do. Other times, in that space, it's healing the cycles of my childhood that told me acting and reacting out of frustration and anger is somehow going to contribute to the present moment. Or make me go faster, which has never been the case. Even on the way here, I'm like, stand in peace, stand in peace. I was running a little bit behind. Like you're giving a talk on standing in peace. But this car needs to move. Sometimes, did you just say you think I was behind you? Sometimes it looks like overriding the impulse to disregard a talkative cashier, which happened to me last weekend. Last weekend, I was out of town, and I was driving through a busy city, and I didn't want to be late. I was visiting family, and so I stop at a grocery store, and I'm like doing supermarket sweep, just going down the aisles, grabbing what I need. And I get to checkout, and I am met with the friendliest, most talkative cashier. And my first thought is, of course I get in this aisle with you. You're so darn friendly. And I realize I'm 5 steps ahead of myself. I'm already out the door in my mind. And so I bring myself back. I'm standing there. I reconnect. And not only do I look him in the eye and answer his questions, I do the opposite of my impulse, and I ask him some questions in return. And I have a conversation with him. And that split second, those couple of minutes, and I bring myself back to standing in peace, to standing still. And of course, everything works out. I get to where I need to get safely on universal time. And it's all good. In this practice, I've found that we're definitely doing more than what we need to be doing. We're moving faster than what is required of us. And we're missing out on some really divine connections that we could be having because we're just thinking of the next thing. So I kind of think of it now as it's kind of like a wrestling match. It's like when my movement reaches its extreme, I just tap out and I tap the universe in as I achieve stillness, as I wait. And then I just realign. And when I know what is mine to do, it's so clear. And then I just move forward. And the universe taps out, and then I'm like, yes, I know exactly what to do. And then I'm the hands and the feet of the divine inner guidance, that inner power that lives within all of us. It's co-creation that I feel we should get used to. We can co-create. It's available to us all the time. And I've experienced more miracles, more prosperity, more opportunity than I ever have before in this practice. So I believe greater than how we achieve inner peace or how we stand still is really not as important as the truths that we anchor into. So I'll share with you 2 truths that I remind myself of in moments of overwhelm. The first is that my divine right to be fearless. And even when I can't see how something will work out, everything's working out in my favor and in favor of those around me. And then the second is my concept of time does not exist in the realm of spirit, which is a whole talk on its own. Spirit is boundless, omnipotent. We've kind of attached ourselves to this idea that time is of the essence, but time is a tool for connection, period. The Great Spirit is boundless, and so every solution to every situation, to every problem I could possibly have is already taken care of, and the solution will find its way to me effortlessly at the right and perfect time. David, will you give me the music? With that, I'd love to just lead us into physical stillness. If you would just center and close your eyes and let breath be your peace. Learning to wait in peace is the ultimate life lesson. Realizing a consciousness of stillness is the greatest privilege. Because inner peace is the bridge for the unseen. And though it may seem counterintuitive, even selfish at times, waiting in that sacred space between our movements is how we cultivate constant connection to that omnipotent power greater than ourselves. It's how we realize connection with each other and all the good that surrounds us. As stewards of this earth, in this moment, accept that when you cultivate peace within, when you cultivate presence, that energy ripples outward, touching all of those you meet along your path. And like those great leaders before us who embodied a consciousness of stillness, even as their human eyes witnessed a disconnected world, from Lao Tzu to Jesus to Buddha, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King Jr., and beyond. We too can surrender to divine guidance within. Chief White Eagle, a great leader of the Ponca tribe, who is credited with transforming the civil rights of Native Americans, once said, "When you are in doubt, be still and wait. When doubt no longer exists for you, then go forward with courage. So long as the mist envelop you, be still. Be still until the sunlight pours through and dispels the mist, as it surely will. Then act with courage." In this sacred space now, anchor into the truth that you will no doubt be faced with many challenges in this life. But waiting in peace for the order of your steps is your divine right. And fearlessness is in your DNA. I invite you to open your eyes, look around, make eye contact with those around you. Love, peace, presence. And I thank you for your presence and peace today.
Jessica, thank you so much. That was empowering and enlightening, and I have to say on a personal level, humbling, because I do believe that we're all just caught up in that. Yet, our divinity, you know, you brought us right back to that peace. So thank you for that gift, and thank you for your presence. I'm just wowed by these spiritual messages and the music and the blessing of talent in this community. It just blows me away. Yeah, standing ovation for that one. Yeah, thank you, everyone. And so I would like to invite Gail. Gail Ray is one of our board members, and she's carrying with her a blue box. The prayer chaplain that is scheduled, if you are interested in prayer following today's service, is Reverend Barbara Ann, who is now back with our kids. So there is a prayer box available over there where Pat's standing at the table. And if you have a prayer request, go ahead and fill out one of those pink slips there and stick it in there, and our ministerial team and prayer chaplains and prayer team we'll hold that in sacred confidence and healing prayer, and it'll also be sent to Silent Unity to be prayed over 24/7 for 30 days. So Unity's got you on whatever you're looking for support in, good, bad, and different, and help you be that bridge of peace in the meantime. And so the blue box that Gail is holding is our new way of receiving love offerings here in our community. They're located throughout the lobby and one over here at the exit door. And there are many ways to continue to support our community financially, online, text to give, these blue boxes if you feel so moved to extend a love offering there in that way. And just want to give a shout out of thanks. Thanks for the continued support through the whole, especially the last 2.5 years. It's just been constant change, and this community has just rallied and come together and given us the support we needed to continue this ministry, to be who we are in the world. And you are as big a part of that as any of the leadership here. It's all of us together. We are what makes Unity. We are what makes Unity of the Blue Ridge. So thank you for your continued support. Thank you, Gail. Kat and the band gonna rock us.
Wow.
In a holy way.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Come on, everybody get up. We've been sitting too long. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn of all the ways I fall.
Let me learn from all the ways I fall.
Oh, let me walk each day a little wiser.
Let me walk every day a little kinder.
Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way.
Let me live in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me walk in a holy, holy way.
Let me walk in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me listen in a holy, holy way.
Let me listen in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me love each day a little kinder.
Let me love every day a little kinder.
Ah, beautiful. And so it is, yes. And now, at the close of our service for today, thank you so much for celebrating this day with us here at Unity of the Blue Ridge. Thank you. Thank you to our live streamers. And we do have our after-service Zoom fellowship for our virtual viewers. If you would like to get online and join us for a little bit too, probably. I'll be on there, so probably a little wit. And so that's about an hour or so. So join us. The link for that is online as well. And let's close together with this prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week, and we're going to get rocked on out of here.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way.
Let me love in a holy, holy way.
Oh, let me learn from all the ways